So the storyline is heating up. Satan has got his eyes on the throne of God. He engages character assassination. God says, I'm a God of peace. I will share my rule, and Jesus will show you what I'm like. So he sends Jesus to earth. Satan kills him. Satan goes, oh no, I've killed him. He's going to go back to heaven. I'm going to be exposed as a liar. And he was. God is a peaceful God. He will absorb violence. He will not perpetrate violence. That's the devil. And then he gets thrown to earth, and the war continues on earth. I want to nail down that this war that Satan engaged in heaven and on earth is not a physical battle. This is talking about psychological, spiritual warfare. This is a war of words. First of all, Revelation 12, 7 and 8, English Standard Version. Now war arose in heaven. The Greek word for war is polemos. In English, we get the word polemics. Polemics is a war of words between two opposing parties, a heated argument. And that's the word that's there. And the Greek word polemos will occur all the way through the book of Revelation, from chapter 12 right down to, I think, chapter 20, verses 10, about war around the holy city. It's the same Greek word. It's a war of words, ideologies, truth versus error. The truth about God and the lies of the devil about the character of God. So a war arose in heaven. Let me give you an illustration from James 4:1 that the Greek word polemos can be used about a war of words. It doesn't necessarily have to be a literal battle. We know from chapter 1, verse 1, that we're already told that it's a symbolic word, a symbolic book. So this is a war of words. And the war and words are connected in James 4:1. It can mean words. 4:1 English Standard Version of James. What causes quarrels? And what causes fights among you? Is it not this, that your passions are at war, polemos, within you? You're passionate? Then verbal diarrhea. Harmful words. The Greek word polemos there, war, is talking about a war of words. And that's what we've got in heaven. The war broke out in heaven was tails, the ancient serpent talking. And now we're going to see that the word mouth is going to appear again and again in connection with this war that now takes place on earth as the devil, the slanderer, the serpent, the deceiver, the one who slanders the character of God, continues on planet earth as devil continues to tell the same lies that he told the angels. But now he'll tell them to human beings because he wants to character assassinate God so he can rule on earth and then later in heaven. He hasn't given up his part in the war. Revelation 12:11, Satan is now cast down to the earth. Woe to earth and sea, because the devil has come down to you having great wrath. He's the one who dumps violence on planet earth. And it's verbal violence, it's psychological violence, it's spiritual violence, it's angst, it's terror, it's torment. It's coming from the devil through his lies about God. 12:11 says how the followers of Jesus respond to the attacks of the devil. 12:11 ESV, and they, the followers of Jesus, have conquered him by the blood of the Lamb. How did Jesus conquer the devil? By the blood of the Lamb. How do the followers of Jesus conquer the devil? By the blood of the Lamb. Because the blood of the Lamb tells us that Satan is the slaughterer. He's a liar. And his character is exposed. And so now the followers of Jesus overcome the devil just like Jesus did, using the same weapon, the blood of the Lamb. He slaughtered the Lamb, you liar. So now the followers of Jesus are a threat. Just like Jesus was a threat when he came to earth and he had to try to kill him. The followers of Jesus are now the same threat because they're going to overcome him and conquer him by the blood of the Lamb. They know he's the slaughterer. You see what's going on here? 12:13. Look at this. English Standard Version. The war continues on earth. Polymos. It's a war of words. You're going to see it. 12:13, and when the dragon saw that he'd been thrown down to the earth, after he was exposed in heaven as the liar, the deceiver, the slanderer, the serpent, When the dragon saw that it had been thrown down to earth, who did he go after? He pursued the woman who had given birth to the male child. He couldn't kill Jesus, and Jesus exposed him from his death, resurrection, ascension, and enthronement. So he said, I'll go after the woman. He hasn't stopped. Couldn't get Jesus? I'll get you. Why? Because the woman conquers him by the blood of the Lamb. You're a liar. You're a murderer. You're a slanderer. You're a deceiver. You're a smooth talker, crafty serpent. Verse 15, look how Satan responds and goes after the woman on earth when he's bringing wrath. 12:12. Woe to you, O earth and sea, for the devil has come down to you, having great wrath. How does he pour out his wrath? It's not physical, it's polymos. It's a war of words, slander the character of God. 12:15. Notice in 12:13 he says, when the dragon saw that it had been thrown down to earth, the dragon means the tail, the lies, he now changes from the dragon to the serpent. Why? Because the serpent was the ancient deceiver who slandered the character of God. Look at 12:15. The serpent poured water like a river out of his mouth to sweep her away with a flood. What? So how does he dump on the people of God? The warfare comes out of his mouth. Serpent mouth. Serpent mouth. Are you getting the picture? The warfare is the serpent, the deceiver, the slanderer. Did God really say? He's trying to hold something back from you. Question on the character of God. The serpent pours out from his mouth water to kill her with a flood. Mouth, serpent, words, polymos. What he did in heaven, what he did with Eve, he's going to do with the woman, the church. He's going to tell lies to the church, to the followers of Jesus. I'll twist their view of God. Did God really say? The serpent poured water out like a river out of his mouth after the woman. He's going to tell the woman, the church, the same lies about God's character. And folks, to a large extent, he has succeeded. The Christian church is disgusting views about what God is like. God is the one under the umbrella of peace. He's the one that shares throne. He's not a tyrant. He's not a dictator. He's not violent. He will die and he'll be slaughtered to show what he's like. And what does the church say? If you don't believe in Jesus, and God's going to roast you in a hellfire that he has created for all eternity. You're going to roast. The character of God has been slandered, and he's targeted the church, but not everyone. Look at verse 16. He pours out water as the serpent, the deceiver, the slanderer, the liar, out of his mouth to sweep her away with a flood. Verse 16. But the earth came to the help of the woman, and the earth opened its mouth, look, and swallowed the river, the lies that the dragon had poured from his mouth. Mouth, war, deception, serpent. Are you getting the picture here? This is a war of words about the character of God. The serpent slandering the character of God. So now he's slandering the character of God on the church. But the earth helps the woman. Didn't work. But still, he has infiltrated the church to a large extent because the church says, God's the one who's going to slam dunk you with seals, plagues, and trumpets. Lies. But the church is coming good on this issue. The truth about the character of God is starting to circle the globe as we speak. Verse 17, we look at the dragon right at the end of time before Jesus comes back, and he makes war with the remaining ones, the last followers of Jesus. And why? 12:17 English Standard Version, we'll leave it here. And the dragon became furious. Woe to you, O earth and sea, everyone, but especially furious with the woman, the end time woman. The dragon became furious with the woman, and he went off to make war, Polymos, words, on the rest of her offspring. Who is the rest of the woman's offspring? On those who keep the commandments of God, and they hold to the testimony of Jesus. Oh no, not testimony about Jesus, the testimony of Jesus. At the end time, God's going to have his people speaking with the testimony of Jesus. Jesus is going to be talking through them. Liar! And they overcame him by the Revelation 12:11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb. That's their testimony. The blood of the Lamb. You slaughterer, you liar. They're a threat. They're a threat. They overcame him by the blood of the Lamb. You're the slaughterer. And by the word of their testimony. Words. They hold to the testimony of Jesus. Oh no, these people, the end time ones, they're going to have the truth. They're going to have the grace message. They're going to know that the devil is the murderer. Jesus is not. God is not. The devil is the violent one. God is not. They got the testimony of Jesus by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they did not love their lives unto death. Revelation 12:11. Be faithful unto death. Revelation 3:10. And I will give you the crown of life. There will be a group of followers of Jesus at the end of time that will have the truth about the character of God. They have the testimony of Jesus, and they overcome him by the blood of the Lamb. You liar, you slanderer. They are the threat. And chapter 13 to chapter 20, the devil now will go after the world in general, and in particular those who understand that he's a liar. He's a serpent. He's the one who slaughtered Jesus. God is not violent. He is. And now we will go back to the seals in the next teaching, and I will show you that the seals, when Jesus takes off the seals as the slaughtered lamb, what we're going to see is there is a war going on. And it's not God hitting you. It's Satan. Seals, trumpets, and plagues will expose that Satan is the direct activation of violence. And finally, he implodes and destroys himself. God bless you.